there was something that was bothering Peyton through the game.
Before I answer, a quick aside. Wasn't it Danny Cannell last week who told us how great Nick Foles was?
Oh, you knew, yes.
I was wondering why.
We're not going to let it go.
We'll deal with it. Okay, good. We'll deal with that.
Now back to the question at hand.
You ain't getting left off the hook.
Okay, good.
We had to at least just touch
All right.
I cannot give a National Football League owner any credit for this. I get where you're going with this, but look, the Colts owner, I'm tired of saying his name because he's gotten his name in print and on the airwaves way too much. And he is in his glory today. He's tweeting at 4 o'clock in the morning last night and taking on Twitter followers on Twitter. Are you kidding? You have a habit occasionally. You go off like that. I don't think you do it at 4 o'clock in the morning,
Never.
right? So I have to question his sanity there. But other than that, now, what happened last week? Okay, inadvertently, you can say that he distracted and drained Peyton in the week leading up to his big, what could have been triumphant return. Because by blasting Peyton, which I believe he did, by ripping his resume, by saying he's always come up short too often in the playoffs, it put a pressure inadvertently. This was not premeditated on the owner's part. Inadvertently, Peyton had a long, hard week because the media jumped on the bandwagon, except for you, and I give you great credit for this, but most commentators said Peyton is going to pay back. Peyton, this is going. I said it on last Tuesday. This will be a vengeance game as he goes back. I said 40 points. I said he'll take it out on that scoreboard he built in the house that he built, and I think most people were going in that direction. Well, guess who benefited from that? The home team did, because I think they played a little scared in the first half because I think they were fearful they would get blown out. I've seen this happen where somebody upstairs, maybe a coach, maybe an owner, maybe a GM, wrote a check that the team had to cash. The team had to basically back him up for putting his foot in his mouth, even though what he said had truth to it, because Peyton has come up short and not cashed in those high seeds often enough that he has won in the regular season. So in this case, I thought that unbelievably, the Colts came out more fired up and more physical than the Broncos did. The Broncos seemed drained by the week. They came out a little bit flat.
But aren't you making the case for the owner, the fact that he helped?
Okay, I can't give him credit for it because I don't think he planned on it. It just it's one of those things that just happens because it's a media bandwagon that rolls over the Broncos instead of lifting the Broncos and carrying them all the way to Denver. It crushed them.
Well, yeah, I'm just giving him credit because it ended up working to his advantage, whether it was intended or not.
Yeah.
And I think that the important point to mention is this. Let's bring it home for a second, okay? We do First Take. Pretty successful show. Things going well. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyth's all right. I got to work across from this dude every day. You understand? I mean, you think he doesn't get on my nerves sometimes, and vice versa. Absolutely. You see what I'm saying? But ain't nothing but love. Ain't nothing but love. But even if there wasn't, you don't leave the set or part ways and dog people and talk about them. It's like, at what price? At what? I mean, just listen. And you talking about communicating, or you're talking about an owner. You want players to play for you. You talk about chemistry and camaraderie and all the things that it means and all the ingredients that come with success. There are certain things you just don't do. But then you go out there and you do exactly that to a guy that a lot of people look at that stadium and they say it wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for Peyton Manning. That's the house Peyton Manning built.
Yeah.
All right, the success this franchise enjoyed was because of what Peyton Manning did for you. You know, and to show that absence of appreciation, sure, factually he was correct with some of the things that he said, but you just don't do it. Because what purpose does it serve? You are genuinely trying to hurt somebody in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And that's all I mean when I say, was the win worth it? Because you got the win. But guess what? Now you got another game next week.
Right.
Peyton Manning's got another game next week. What you have, Mr. Irsay, is your reputation. We know who you are and what kind of dude you are now because of what you elected to do just because this man was coming to town.